Alright, we're finally building the app. Today, we keep it simple. Add login, deploy it, that's it.
Before I write any code, I want to be clear about what this is actually going to do. We'll start with a simple Next.js project. Since the backend is on AWS, Cognito makes sense for authentication. It's straightforward, and adding external providers like Google is easy. For login, we'll use a user pool. After authentication, it returns a JWT token. At that point, the user is logged in. Because we'll be calling other AWS services later, we'll also set up an identity pool. It takes that token and returns temporary AWS credentials. With those credentials, the app can make authorized requests to AWS. And once login works, we'll deploy the app to Cloudflare Workers and pages. Okay, let's actually build it. We'll start with a fresh Next.js app. Let's copy this command and enter in our terminal. We'll use default settings. Once it's ready, let's cd into our project and start it. And now we have basic application. After we log in into our AWS account, we need to go to Cognito services. From here, we will create a new user pool. Let's select single page application. We'll name our application. For configure options, we'll select email. The rest we will leave as is. Let's also rename our user pool. Now, we want our users to log in with Google. For that, we need Google Client ID. I'll provide all the links below the video, but if you go to Google and type Google Cloud in search bar, the first link is what we need. Let's go there. Let's go to console. From here, we need APIs and services. Under credentials, we need to create new credentials. We need Auth Client ID. For application type, we need web application. Let's name it. This we will add later. We can leave this pop-up open for now. In user pool, let's go to social and external providers. We'll add a new one. For client ID, we need this value. Also, we need to copy secret. For authorized scopes, we need OpenID, email, and profile. We successfully connected Google. Since in our Next.js application, we will use Amplify to connect to Cognito and other services. Amplify has a very good docs in explaining how to set Google Client ID. I will provide this link also below the video. For the next step, we need to add origin URL and redirect URL in Google. From the Cognito user pool, we need to go to domain and copy this value. Let's go into our client ID and add our redirect URL. We also need to add this value at the end of our redirect URL. For origin, let's use localhost for now and save it. Now for the fun part, in order to connect our Next.js application with Cognito, we're going to use Codex 5.3. Let AI create all necessary code for our application. And let it cook. After 11 minutes, our AI is done. Let's check what we have. Okay, looks like we need to create some environmental variables. For the domain name, we don't need HTTPS, so let's delete it. Alright, looks good. Now, the page is working, but authentication might not work yet. Let's make sure that our user pool configured correctly. Let's first go to App Clients. To Login Pages tab, make sure you added localhost 3000 to callback URLs and the same to signout URLs, because these values were added by Codex. Also make sure that there is a trailing slash at the end. For identity providers, make sure that Google is added. Let's also check our domain section. For the branding version, it should be hosted UI. Let's check our login now. Alright, looks like login is working. Let's move on to the next step and deploy our application to Cloudflare. Cloudflare has a good documentation on how to deploy a Next.js project, both for new projects and for existing. We'll use the latter. right, our app is still working. Let's also test it with Cloudflare adapter. Now we can deploy it. Let's check what we have. After deploying, we need to add new URL to Cognito and to Google. We're not changing this section. Let's redeploy our application. And login works. Now the last step is to add identity pool. Codex updated the app. Let's check the code. So we recreated the env example, although we have the env local. Let's just copy this value and go to identity pools. We need to create IAM role name. We also need to select user pool ID. After creating identity pool in Cognito, it's time to add it in our app. Let's first go into env.example file and copy this value and paste it in our env.local file. Now we need to copy this value from Cognito and paste it here. Let's also make sure that Codex added all necessary code in our config file. It's basically this one line. Now let's test it one more time. And it's still working.